Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nashville Tour Stop Podcast. Joining us today, episode number 108 after Snowmageddon 2024, Maura Streppa. Thank you for coming on to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome,
Excited to be
welcome to
here.
the pod. How was your snow week?
It was honestly great because I was sick.
You were sick? That
So
sucks.
I didn't have to cancel anything because everything was already canceled.
Everything was already canceled.
So I was on my sister's bachelorette party last weekend.
Woof.
And I was trying to fly back to Nashville on Monday.
Okay.
Couldn't because BNA shut down. So I spent the night in Charlotte, which is where my parents live. And then flew here Tuesday and felt horrible Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then felt great Saturday, Sunday.
God,
Now I'm
that
back.
sucks. Well, at least you didn't have to miss anything.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I got to stay inside and wasn't stir crazy because of it.
Well, for those of you listening who don't live in Nashville, we had a huge, by Nashville standards, snowstorm. Mm-hmm. My house here got 9 inches of snow. Some of my friends over by the Percy Priest Lake got almost a foot. That's a lot of snow for anywhere.
It was also a lot of ice.
Yeah, that's the thing we're still dealing with in front of my house right now. It's it wasn't just the snow. It was because it warmed up just a little bit on Tuesday when you got back, and then everything melted and froze overnight, and then the whole city's just been shut down because it's like a ice skating rink everywhere.
Yeah.
Blech. I'm not a cold weather person. I'm not a hot weather person. I'm not good anywhere.
Just constantly uncomfortable.
I'm constantly uncomfortable unless it's 65 and sunny.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm really looking for.
I like the cold weather, but I like it when I'm under my covers, drinking a hot coffee.
And you don't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
You're from Chicago, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Talk about cold.
Yeah. So I lived there from 0 to 12
Okay.
and then moved to North Carolina.
How long were you in North Carolina?
12 to 18.
Okay. And then you move here for Belmont? Mm-hmm. Great. You're long since graduated, right?
Well, I graduated in May.
What year is it?
Right now, it's 2024. So
2024, the year of our Lord Lainey Wilson. We established that last week.
I agree. Retweet. Graduated May 2023.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on the pod today. There's a lot I want to talk about, but we start every episode by asking how we met, and we were talking about it before we started recording, and we couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, so we had no idea. I know when I moved here and after COVID kind of settled down, I stalked everybody in every round and just try to figure out where I could play. Yeah. And so I went back in our DMs, and the first show was July 23rd.
At Cabana Taps, RIP.
Yeah. So.
What do you remember about those Taps venue days?
It's a great question. I think.
Because it was the Wild West. Those places were lawless.
Yeah. There was a lot of flying by the seat of your pants, in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah. I got in trouble for trying to kick out a dude selling cocaine. I got in trouble for trying to kick him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a perfect summation of what those places were like.
Yeah.
And I won't say which place it was.
People who live here can probably figure out where it was. I mean, it was good. It was a lot of meeting people, which I really needed to do because I moved here for school, and then 3 months later, everybody went home. So I didn't really know a lot of people in the Nashville scene.
Did you start in January 2020?
No, I started, I guess, so more than 3 months, but I started in fall of 2019.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So being able to meet people, and I hadn't played out, I learned how to play guitar over COVID.
Okay.
So I had not played guitar.
You've never played guitar before? Mm-mm. Look at that.
I know. But then I saw everyone here was playing guitar, so I was like, okay, I guess I should probably learn how to play guitar.
I have to learn.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly, you're like, oh, my fucking fingers.
My fingers.
Damn it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it was a good thing. And so playing those venues taught me a lot about learning how to play a songwriting round and learning more about songwriting itself and hearing from other people and learning how to play for a sold out crowd and learning how to play for the bartender. It's definitely a big...
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's brutal out there because I feel like so many people just in their brains, they get it you go through the steps of I played a nobody and then I played a 15 people and yada yada. But you don't realize, like, you can go from playing sold out at the listening room to 300 people, and then that same night go to your next gig and play to no one. That happens all the time.
It must have been maybe a month or two ago. I played the Bluebird, and the next night played a hotel lobby that no one was in. So it's like there are, like, regardless of where you are in the industry, you're still paying your dues. But I think all the show, like, it doesn't matter. All the shows, regardless of if it's a sold out room or the janitor, should be played as if it's sold out at the Ryman. Like, you should have that same energy and that same.
Yeah, and it sucks because some people who are so freaking talented haven't had the opportunity to even do that. It's like the gatekeepers, you know, like the places like the Bluebird are really hard to get into, not just because they're prestigious and hard to get into, but like there's so many people that want to be there.
So many people.
And then there's thousands of deserving people. And then there's thousands of, I don't want to call them not deserving people, but it's like you have to get through everybody. And there's only so many days in a week.
Right.
And that's kind of why it's hard for me to do tour stops sometimes, because our submission list is like thousands long and people will submit multiple times. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I haven't listened to your music yet, but the closest opening I have is in May.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, the most talented person from every small town moves here.
Yes.
So it's like
thousands, literally thousands.
Yeah. It's a lot. And I think a big part of it is not being mean. Just don't be mean. And
what's rule number one of Nashville? Don't be a dick.
Sorry. Sorry, Mom. But yes.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Grandma. Sorry, Grandpa.
Don't be a dick. And then you'll be able to, I mean, a lot of the opportunities I've had have just come from like talking to somebody at a bar or like complimenting somebody's pants. Like it's the smallest things that can lead to.
Do you know a country duo called Smithfield? You ever heard of them? Mm-mm. So they've played the Opry several times, but they got their first Opry gig because they were playing at the old listening room, and they were asked to play the day before Thanksgiving. It must have been 10 years ago now, but they were playing one of those gigs that no one was at. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Everyone's gone. And they were playing to one of the bartenders, one of the servers, and like 7 people in the audience. But they had that mentality of like playing every gig like it was full. Mm-hmm. And one of the people in the room was the talent buyer for the Opry.
Yeah.
And they're like, we should have you. And that's how it happened. And then the next thing you knew, they were playing the Opry all the time and playing CMA Fest. And they got signed. And like, you don't have to play to 300 people. The one person in the audience might be the only person that matters.
Right. Right.
And that's kind of hard to come to a gig where there's 7 people and try to turn it on for 7 people. Mm-hmm. But I try to turn it on for 7 people, like, because you never know. That's one of those Nashville stories. It's like it has happened and it will continue to happen. Right.
And just like it can be, you can get jaded by
everything.
This town and constantly being like, well, when is it? When is it? When is it? But I like to call them God winks, like the little moments that are like, okay, this is why I moved here. This is why I'm doing this for, pour for
the
passion.
Things that reaffirm your faith in what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Give me an example of something that's reaffirmed your faith in the industry.
Ooh, now I gotta think. Oh gosh, there's been a lot. Oh, this is a great example. So I was playing a show at the listening room, and it must have been my first or second time hosting there. I was very new, and my therapist came.
That's cool.
And she's not my therapist anymore, but she came to the show, and whoever I don't know who I was playing with, but they turned to me and they said, "Play Skinnier." And I hadn't played this song for anyone, and except for my therapist and like my friend Sam Hatmaker, who I wrote it with, and like that's really it. I didn't play it for a lot of people, and they were like, play Skinnier, play Skinnier. And I was like, I'm like really nervous, but I'm gonna play the song because my therapist is here and, you know, she really likes it. So here's Skinnier. And
my therapist would tell me to do this to like accomplish my fears, like overcome my darkest fears.
Literally. So for listeners that don't know me or don't know my music, I have a single out now called Skinnier, but it's about, basically, would you like me more if I was skinnier? Mm-hmm. And it talks about when I play it, I talk about my eating disorder and my history and all this stuff. And so I play it. My therapist had taken a video and sent it to Amy Brown from the Bobby Bones Show.
Wow.
And so then I get a contact from Amy's team saying, hey, we would love to have you on Outweigh, which is Amy's podcast, and to do a feature on iHeartRadio. That's awesome. Would you like to do that? And I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So then I texted Thomas Doolin, who's a producer in town, and I said, we have to record this. It wasn't, we had just written it. It wasn't recorded or anything.
The turnaround of a song sometimes is like 3-4 years. So if you've just written it, you're like, I'm not even sure if I like the words yet.
Right. And for this song especially, I was like, I don't know if I want people to know this about me. Like, it's just super vulnerable, and it wasn't something I was ready to share necessarily. But I was like, well, I'm not passing up, Amy Brown. And so we went to the studio. We recorded it in one day on tape. It was awesome. Got it sent to her like 3 or 4 days later. It was on iHeartRadio and then SiriusXM The Highway. And Buzz Brainerd did a whole special on it. And like, it was on the Nashville sign. And it just like, poof.
Damn. That's awesome.
So that was definitely a God like triple wink. But
that's one of the things that's scary about this town is how, in even perfect case of this, like how fast it can happen. Mm-hmm. And like we talked about it last week with Gracie Carroll about her song called 3 Minutes. And we were talking about how we're all like 3 minutes from fame. Yeah. Like we're literally just one song away. And it could literally happen like that, where one person sees it, they send it, and then boom, you're famous.
Right.
Like, it's scary that's how fragile our business is.
Yeah.
And also amazing because how many other industries can you become an instant success in 3 minutes? None. Cryptocurrency, Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk more about some of the music you've released. So Skinnier is your second most streamed song on Spotify right now, at least it was when I checked earlier today. Oh. But you also have a single that's your most recent one called I Won't. Mm-hmm. Talk about that. What was the writing and recording process of that song? Because it's a little more chill, acoustic vibe.
Yeah, so
it's not quite so dirty country as some of your other stuff.
Yeah, so that was a quick turnaround too. It was my first write with April Rose Gabrielli and Jacob Kulik, who are awesome. They're great producers and writers in town. Go check them out. It's my first write with them. They had seen me at the listening room. The listening room has been great. Really great. They saw me play Song Suffragettes and asked me to like meet for coffee, and we met and just hit it off instantly and decided to write. And I was talking about a boy and whatever. We were getting into, I was complaining like I do in most co-writes. And I was just kind of talking about how this is going to make me sound so annoying. And so
give it to me.
I'm just going to do it. But I promise I'm not like this. Well, I kind of am. When men like know that they're attractive or like think like they can get whatever they want, and when they present that attitude to me, it's like a huge turn off, I guess. Like it's just like I can read people really easily, and so it's really clear to me when people do that, and I'm
cocky,
very
self-righteous kind of attitude.
Yeah, but then they do it through like an insecurity way. I don't know. I might sound like crazy, but there are certain people that have this ability to like seem a way that they're not. And so I was just talking about that, and we were like, okay, let's write about that. Like, I bet you're lonely every time every time you want me to come over. I bet like you're so lonely. You don't have 17 other girls that you texted the same thing to. So we kind of started with that, and we couldn't figure out what the hook was. Like, okay, this idea is great. I'm sure people have felt it before, but what is
you got to land somewhere?
Yeah. So then we were sitting there and I was pacing and we were trying to figure it out. And I sat on the couch and I said, you tell me that I'm different, and I am. I know, because everybody loves you, but I won't.
Oh.
And it was just like that moment in the room where you're like, that's
one of those
it.
electric moments where everybody goes, that.
Yeah, exactly. So then we wrote it and then we recorded a demo and then I sent it to a few friends and the response was like, you have to put this song out right now.
Dope.
And I was like, well, didn't put out a song in 2023. Like, yikes, I need to do that. So then I was thinking about my finances and
as we all do every moment of every day.
Exactly. I was like, I cannot afford to produce
right.
this song right now. Like it's just not realistic. And so I was talking to Jake and April about it and I was like, why don't I just put out the demo?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's just mix and master the demo and put it out. They were like, okay. So Jake added some harmonies in there and then I just kind of said,
it's
okay.
real stripped down.
Yeah.
No frill or fuss.
Yeah. And
I think some of the best songs are like that. Like they don't need a whole orchestra.
Right.
Some people get bogged down in like putting too much stuff into a song that it distracts from the fact that it's just a good song.
Yeah. And it's not a bop. So
Right.
I don't feel like it needs a lot of that. I'll be playing it with a full band on February 1st at 3rd and Lindsley. So it'll be cool to kind of hear it with all the elements. But yeah, it was a quick turnaround, put it out, and I had the idea to do just like a surprise drop. I teased it a little bit on TikTok, but like just was planning on just putting it out and not really telling anybody. And so I did, and it's doing, like, for me, it's doing great. It's doing well. So it's been fun to see. But yeah, I really like it. My mom called it the most beautiful FU she's ever heard. So
Aww.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
So,
No,
yeah.
actually, you know what? Forget iHeartRadio. It's when your parents like it.
Yes.
That's when it really counts.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So
Like when I was in college, I was writing a song, and I think it was called "From Afar." It was on the piano, and my dad heard me playing it. And my dad is super musical, very classical, not a very songwriting person. But like I've aired my dirty laundry of my parents not really caring about music before. But I played that song, and my dad goes, "That should be in a musical."
what a compliment.
And I was like, "Thanks, Dad." That was one of those moments for me. I was like, I don't suck.
I'm doing it.
Tony Awards, here I come.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Well, hey, that's a great place to take a break. Let's take a quick commercial message, and we'll come right back on the Nashville Tour Stop Podcast. And we're back with the Nashville Tour Stop Podcast. Maura Streppa joining us on episode number 108. We just had a short break where I had a moment of insecurity thinking I was saying your name incorrectly. Thank you, Caroline DeLone.
I was about to say, who's to blame for that?
I've been calling you Maura Streppa for years.
Yeah.
And that's your name.
Maura Lynn Streppa.
Oh, full name.
Maura Lynn Cecilia Streppa, if we want
Whoa.
to get real technical. But
So you don't have a middle name, you have a space.
no, I have a middle name, Lynn. But then I have my confirmation name, which is Cecilia.
So you have a space in between Lynn and Cecilia.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't have a middle name, you have a space.
Oh. Alex also doesn't understand what you're saying.
Because there's 4.
Oh.
So you don't have a middle, you just have a space.
Got it. My mom wanted me to go by Maura Lynn.
Maura Lynn.
Yeah.
That's like your stage name?
Yeah.
Nah.
That I agree.
Maura
think
Streppa is way more like signature.
I think so too.
You know how many girls in this town go by first name, middle name?
I know.
All of them.
Yeah.
Paige Rose, that's actually her first and last name.
Huh.
It's not her middle name.
There you
Her
go.
middle name is Marie. And that's like one of those things for years I had thought
What a
her
great
middle
name. Paige Marie
Paige.
Rose.
Yeah. Like her given real life last name is Rose.
Wow.
Like,
Lucky.
talk about a cool last name. Meanwhile, I'm stuck over here with Shilb. Something that's deceptively simple, yet nobody can get it right. Everyone's a
Shilb.
little dyslexic. Lots of people say schlib.
I definitely have said Schlib for probably the entire time that I've known you. So Caroline, I'm the one that's saying his name wrong, not he.
Aaron
he's not saying
Shib, I've gotten a lot. Schlib.
I've gotten
You're doing great,
some
honey.
rough pronunciations.
Of your last name?
Maura Streppa.
Oh, God. I can't imagine.
Like,
Ninth grade must have
throat.
been brutal.
Oh, it was tough. Real tough.
This is around the time when that Key and Peele video, The Substitute Teacher, came out, was when I was in high school. And all of a sudden, my name was no longer Aaron.
AA Ron.
You done messed up, AA Ron. And I remember, like, I was in 11th grade or something, and people started saying that to me, and I was like, something's happening, and I don't know what it is.
My mom's Denise.
Really?
So she was D-Nice.
D-Nice.
Yeah.
Timothy.
Well, and my uncle is Tim, and my uncle and my mom are super close, and so they would always say it to each other.
Jake Quellen. You just got Maura.
Just Maura. Nothing crazy. Just Maura.
Just Maura. Maura Lynn. I'm never going to call you Maura Streppa again.
Okay.
Nah, I'm going to forget this the
I
moment
was
we move
going to
on.
say. It's after my Aunt Lynn, she actually lives in Gallatin. Aunt Lynn lives in Gallatin, but she's like my godmother, and like we are super duper close. So I'm happy that I have her name and my name.
I just got 2 Bible names, Aaron, Mark.
Yeah.
Actually, Aaron came from the first page of the baby name book.
Oh.
AA.
Yeah.
Yeah, start right there. And then my dad named me after a kid that was in his youth group. Yeah, so I got 2 church names, Bible names. Look at me now, Dad. Talk about Catholic
so
shame.
holy. Yeah, seriously.
Well, you moved here in 2021?
2019.
2019. What year is it now?
2024.
This is the second time I've had to say this. I'm losing track of when I am. I said that on stage the other day, and I welcomed people to the show. I said the full date. I said month, date, year, and I said 2021. And this girl on stage goes, "When do you think you are?" Like, God. Like, I wasn't even drunk or anything. I was just like,
When do
I was
you
just like, that's.
think
It's
you
like,
are?
It's like, you're not drunk, so are you just stupid?
Yeah. Oh, geez.
But so you moved here in 2021 for school at Belmont.
2019.
I did it again. I'm stupid. You moved here in 2019 for Belmont.
Yes.
Did you study songwriting or anything else while you were there?
No, so I actually started with commercial voice.
Okay, cool.
And then after first semester, like most people, if you went to Belmont, you get it. After first semester, I decided to switch, and I wanted to switch to songwriting, but I had already missed the audition date. So I just switched to music business for my second semester freshman year. Everything went online. And then first semester, sophomore year, I was a songwriting major with a music business minor.
So how do you think the COVID shutdown affected your songwriting process, since you were still pretty new to it while you changed your major to that? Do you think that the virtual learning and virtual co-writing kind of set you for a different kind of creative process instead of just being used to being in a room with people all the time?
Since I don't know the alternative, I'm not sure.
It never felt weird.
Never felt weird. I think it gave me a lot of time to write. Mm-hmm. I also
Something we
just
don't
went
ever
through
have.
yeah, exactly. Like everybody else, I went through a lot during COVID, so it fueled a lot of writing and a lot of inspiration. I think once I got back to Nashville and things started, kicking back into full swing, that's when I was like, this is awesome. I think once I started writing with people and feeling that energy in the room, there's nothing that compares to it.
No.
So,
I had a couple of those Zoom writes, and I'm so ADD anyways, that as soon as I had to like actively be on my computer trying to focus, I was like, this is not going to happen for me. Like,
Yeah.
I canceled writes that I had scheduled. I was like, this is going to be bad and a waste of time for the both of us.
right.
I think I only got through like 2 or 3 Zoom writes, and one of them I got a cut out of, which was dope.
There you go.
But the only cut I ever got, thank you, SJ McDonald, but it was brutal for me because I have to like see people. I have to be doing something, and having Facebook open in the tab right next to the Zoom, I was like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a funky time since my experience co-writing prior wasn't heavy. There was a lot of solo writing still. And
Do you remember the name of your first song?
Ever? No, but I remember how it goes.
Oh my God, you have to sing it.
I just vividly remember asking my mom, like, is your heart and your soul the same thing? She was like, well, like, kind of. Like, she was trying to explain. I mean, a very insightful question from a 3-year-old, but she was like, why? And I was like, because I'm trying to write a song. She's like, oh, like, writing a song? Okay, how's it go? Okay, my big debut. My heart, my soul, my brain, it loves you. That's all I remember. I don't remember the rest, but it was something, and I had this little notebook. I had to have been older than 3 if I was writing stuff down.
That's so cute.
But it was this little, like, pocket notebook. It was just this bad handwriting. It said my heart, my brain.
4-year-old chicken scratch.
Yeah. So that was the first song.
Number 4?
Maybe 5. I feel like 4 is
Splitting
really
hairs,
young.
though. That's still so young.
I was little. I was in a car seat for sure.
I didn't start writing music until I was in middle school. Like, I think I was 12 or 13, like, when I even, like, had the idea, I could write a song.
Yeah.
It had never occurred to me before that.
So my oldest brother, Jared, at, like, family gatherings, he would always play the piano and write songs about family members on the spot.
That's fun.
And so that always inspired me, like, because I always just watched him do it. I was like, look at everyone laughing. Like, I want to make everyone laugh. Like, I want to be the center of attention, which is, like, the most Maura thing to think ever.
The birth of a look at me girl.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I was inspired to start writing songs. And he also, like, helped teach me some piano. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's kind of where it started. I didn't start legit, like, actually writing songs until 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade. So
were you writing them on the piano, or were you just, okay, gotcha, because you didn't learn the guitar until you were in college?
Yeah. And
so
I was always...
Was the piano your first instrument then?
Yeah,
okay.
Which is hilarious because I'm the youngest of 5, and all my siblings had piano lessons growing up that they hated, that, like, my mom forced them to do. And I didn't do any piano lessons. Wow. I'm like, of course, the one kid that pursues music didn't get any lessons growing up. I still haven't had a lesson. I feel like
a lot of the things our parents force upon us as children are things we grow up to resent.
Right.
It's like me with golf. Like,
there you go.
My dad bought me, like, golf clubs and all of the clothes and the shoes and the season pass at the golf course down the street from us, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Instead, I was like, can I sit in my bedroom and play the guitar for those same 8 hours? Please? Don't make me go outside.
Yeah. Yeah, my parents were definitely always supportive of whatever we wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Like, 5 of us again, so we all kind of
Where do you fall in the hierarchy of the children?
The youngest.
You're the baby. Me too. Look at us.
Yeah.
Babies. Spoiled rotten, wearing black hats.
Spoiled rotten, for sure. My siblings could definitely agree to that one, but...
How much older is the oldest?
12 years.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
My brother is 7 years older than me, and I was an oops baby for sure.
My sister, that's closest in age, is 6 years older. But
so you
my
were
parents,
an oops baby also?
They say that I wasn't, and my mom is gung-ho on it. So my mom did have a miscarriage in between me and my sister. And she just always said she wants me to write the song, and I promise one day I will write it. But just called, like, there's an extra seat at the table. Like,
a verbal contract is binding in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah.
Mom, I got you.
I got you. She just always said there was always supposed to be one more chair at the table. And I'm like, well, that's funny, Mom, because every family dinner we had to pull the kitchen stool into the dining room because there weren't enough chairs at the table. No, but she always said that, so
that'd be a great song.
Stuck with me now. Yeah.
Find somebody else who's really emo and needs to write something sad.
Yeah, there you go. It's a rainbow. I think it's a Rainbow Baby song.
Maybe.
So, yeah.
I wouldn't be the person for that, right?
Yeah, no.
If you want to write a song about butts, I got you
there
covered.
You go.
That's all I'm good for right now. And see, I've had it happen where people have asked me to be part of a co-write with them because they really... they're like, this needs to have funny stuff in it. So I'm glad that I've kind of gotten a reputation of writing stupid songs.
Hey.
If it works,
There you
it
go.
works.
Hey, I have one called Bitches Bitchin'. You know, I like my...
You need it sometimes.
Yeah. I'm skinnier and Bitches Bitchin', so I'll make you cry or I'll make you laugh, whatever.
I remember you asked if you could play that at the Cambria Hotel when you played last time. You're like, am I allowed to play this? I was like, absolutely, you are.
Yeah. It's a fun one, for sure.
We had a show there last week before the snow, or actually it was like during the snow. They didn't cancel anything. And all of the hotel guests were snowed inside. So it was like packed.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But that also meant there were children everywhere.
Oh.
And you know what's not great for children? A bar at 9:45 in downtown Nashville with free beer.
During a snowstorm.
During a snowstorm. So it was the drunkest people you've ever seen, musicians and children. It was like Disney World, just
on
depressed
fire.
and drunk.
Oh, geez.
A frozen, sad, drunken wonderland.
There you go.
I'll write that song.
I was going to say, no, I mean, I'm here for it.
I do need to know about your cat. We have to talk about your cat.
Didn't want to be the crazy cat lady that brought him up.
It's on your merch.
It is.
It's everywhere. Cowboy. The name of your cat is Cowboy.
I don't know
I mean,
if you
look
can
at
even see
him.
it.
We'll put a photo of that in. We'll superimpose a photo of it. But my God. So how old is your cat? And why did you decide on the name?
So sweet Cowboy. Also known as Cow. Also known as Little Shit.
I love animals named after other animals.
Yes, yeah. He is approximately 2.5.
Okay.
When I found him, he was like a baby. So I don't know. That's
Like palm of your hand, baby.
Yeah, like so small. So that's what the vet like estimated. And originally when I like met him, he was sniffing my boots and I was like, oh, I'll name him Boots. Like, that's cute. And then I was like, I don't know if I want it to be like Shrek correlated.
Oh, I hadn't even put that together, but
like
people would
Puss in
100%
Boots.
think that.
Especially because he's a fat ginger cat. Like,
Yeah.
it's an easy. So then I was like, what am I? It was Cowboy. I'll name him Cowboy.
That's a great name.
And I didn't even think that he would be my like logo or anything. But my brother Luke was saying, like, you have to get a logo. He's like, I don't want to wear Streppa on my. I'm like, okay. So he's like, you have to get a logo. And I'm like, why don't I just use Cowboy? Like, he can be my logo.
I mean, people love merch anyways, but people love animals more than anything.
Right.
Like, my Instagram only shows me wiener dogs.
Yeah.
Like, it breaks my heart. I know we talked about it already that I had to get rid of my dog, but it still shows me so much dog content.
Right.
Obviously, that's what I want to consume. The algorithm has me figured out.
Yeah. Mine's like sushi rolls and cats, which are like my two favorite things.
Your two favorite things in the world.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a giant health thing, I know it would be gross, but I want to go to a place that has both of those. Cats everywhere and sushi.
Yeah.
Have you been to a cat cafe?
Yes.
I've never been to one.
Oh my gosh. So there's one in Hendersonville, I think. And I took a kid that I babysit there because he loves cats, but his mom's allergic. And so his mom's like, anytime you babysit, take him. I'm like, say less. We're going.
We're going to go to the cat cafe.
Yeah. And they're like available for adoption.
That's cool.
So I'm like sitting there with all these kittens and I'm like, does Cowboy want a sibling? Like, I feel like, because I do go out of town a lot and like cats are great alone. I've had 35 foster dogs. So I've had my fair share of dogs. Raised Cowboy with 2 6-week-old puppies. So he's like very dog-like. But the good thing about cats is they're so independent. So I can leave him for 4 days and he's completely fine. But then I'm like, what if he gets lonely and maybe, he needs a little buddy?
What would you name a little buddy if you get Chicken?
Chicken would be funny.
I know one of my friends here in Nashville has a Cocker Spaniel named Chicken.
That's a great
Her full name is Lady Chicken Gravy.
Oh.
But she goes by Chicken.
There you go.
She goes by her middle name.
Yeah. That's pretty normal.
I wanted to get a dog and name it Turtle. I think that'd be so funny to have a dog named Turtle.
If I got a female cat, which I probably wouldn't, I'd name it Barbara.
Barbara. That's a great name.
Barb.
Not Barbie.
No, Barb. And then if I got another male cat, probably Jerry.
That's a good name too.
So my coworker, she has a cat named Jerry, and it's a hairless cat. And she was explaining that when they got him, he looked like a mouse. So they're like, why don't we name him Jerry instead of Tom? And I was like, that's such a good idea. But I'm also a deadhead. So I was like, oh, it'd be a nice nod to Jerry Garcia.
Oh, God.
It'd be Jerry and Cowboy.
I think animals with human names like that is hysterical.
Same.
That's why I named my dog Phyllis.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not going to get a dog and name it Cody.
Yeah.
I
wouldn't name it the name of something I can name my child.
Right. I'm not going to name a child Phyllis.
Right.
I feel like that's one of those names that's Ruth.
Yeah. I like Ruth.
Are you going to don't name a kid Ruth.
I like the name Ruth. Ruthie.
It sounds like you're getting ready to have a 65-year-old.
Yeah, but I feel like those names are coming back.
Old people. Oh, I mean, I've thought about naming, if I ever had a son, I thought I'd name him Ed.
Ed?
Yeah. I mean, it's my grandpa's name, but I also think calling like, oh, he's so cute.
Ed.
What's his name? Ed.
Yeah. Ed, and Eddie.
Ed. I mean, you are right. Like old-fashioned names like that are coming back. Judy.
Yeah.
That's my grandma's name. Ed and Judy. You're listening right now. I know you both are.
Hi.
Grandpa Ed, get better. I know you're in the hospital recovering from a hip surgery.
Hey, my dad had 2 of those.
Oh, do we have the same family then? My grandpa's had 2 of them.
There you go.
All both hips.
Yeah. All 2 of them.
All 2 of them. Getting ready for golf season.
Yeah, my dad too.
Like my family, they want to go on a golf vacation, and they're like, Aaron, will you take golf lessons to come with us? And I was like, no. I will come with you and drive the cart, though.
There you go.
Like, it's like I don't not want to spend time with you guys. I just really don't want to play golf.
I took 1 golf lesson over COVID.
Mm-hmm.
My parents have this apartment in Florida, and they were staying there during the pandemic. And so I stayed with them. My dad was like, why don't you do a golf lesson? Like, this is a great time to try it. I was like, yeah, sure. And I loved it. But I think it's because I love tennis that it came really naturally to me. Like, the swing came super natural. And I picked it up pretty easy, but then I've literally never picked up a club since. And so I keep bugging my friend Jim. I'm like, I want to go golfing. Like, he keeps talking about it. I'm like, please just take me. I'll sit in the cart and just let me swing like 3 or 4 times. And then we'll be good.
And that's one of the things that has always gotten me with golf is if somebody asks you to go golfing, you're like committing for
hours.
A while.
Yeah.
It's not like asking somebody to go play tennis where you might play for an hour.
Right.
Like, oh no, you're going to play 18 holes. You're going to be there for 4 hours.
Right.
Or longer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like, I don't have attention span for anything. That's why 20-minute TV shows, perfect.
I like putt-putt.
Have you been to the new Putt Shack?
No, but
I haven't either.
I've wanted to go.
Let's go.
Done.
Putt Shack, sponsor this episode. Take me and Maura. We'll do it. Hashtag, not an ad.
Hashtag could be.
Hashtag, this could be us.
But you playing putt-putt.
This could be us, but you playing putt-putt. Well, Maura, what are you working on now? What's coming out in 2024, the year of our Lord Lainey Wilson?
So many things. So many things. I'm so excited for this year. I have so much music that I'm like putting out, which I'm just so happy about. Songs I've been sitting on and like trying to get. It's expensive to make music, man. It's expensive.
To make, have you ever seen the like triangle of like high quality, cheap, or like high quality, cost effective, or like time efficient?
Right.
And it's like pick 2.
Well, that's so true because like my family or other people are like, why don't you just do it yourself? I'm like, that would take quadruple the time because then I have to learn how to do all of it. And then I have to like set up my place to, so we've got 3 songs ready to roll. So those will be coming out shortly. I'm playing, when does this come out?
This will come out very soon in the next week or so.
Okay. So I'm playing Third and Lindsley February 1st. And then I'm playing
I saw your face on the Nashville sign.
You did?
I
still haven't seen it.
I saw your face on the Nashville sign.
Aww.
That's the biggest fucking sign in all of Nashville.
Yeah.
It's humongous right there at the cross of West End and Broadway.
Yeah.
You're up there.
I'm up there. I drove by it the other day. My friend just moved into an apartment that has like a direct view of it. And I was just sitting at his window like watching, hoping that it would come through the rotation. But yeah, so that's for the February 1st at 3rd and Lindsley. And
Who are
then
you playing with?
It's me, and then Savannah Burrows. She's hosting it, and then Molly Forbes.
Cool. That's a great lineup.
It'll be a really fun show. Girl country, female empowerment, bitchin', all the things.
All for that.
And then I think February 29th or 23rd, whatever that Monday is, I'm playing
The 23rd, because it's the 22nd. No, the 29th is a Thursday, because I'm doing a show that night. I know for sure.
Okay, so it's the 20th. I don't know.
8,
Go to
7,
maurastreppa.com. Yeah, one of those days I'm playing
the
Song
Monday
Suffragettes.
before the leap day.
Yes, I'm playing Song Suffragettes at the listening room. There's a bunch
You
of more
play
shows.
Song Suffragettes pretty regularly, right?
Yeah, like every 3 months maybe.
Every couple months. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Go to maurastreppa.com/live and you'll see all my shows.
All of your shows.
And subscribe and follow me on Bands in Town. And if you want more music, my Venmo is at Maura Streppa.
If you want to hear more of me, please give me money.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Friends?
Like,
Okay, you can say no, but there's a scene, I forget how early into the show it is, but Phoebe is playing a show at the little coffee house, and she takes out like a yellow legal pad, and she goes, "Hi, here's my email list, so please give me money so that I can buy a computer to send you emails."
that's us. That's us. It's crazy because I don't think we talked about this when we were rolling, but I work from 4:30 in the morning until noon, and then do music from noon until whenever, until I'm asleep. And it's that pour for passion thing. It's like,
I have so much respect for you because I've worked that exact same shift.
Yeah, the candy shop.
I worked at the, no, this was at a bakery here in Nashville. I also did work at a candy shop.
I always do that.
I don't know.
I know the bakery. I know the story.
I am the candy, or I was the candy man. That means I could. I was the candy man, and I could. I could no longer. But I worked that 4:30 to noon shift at the bakery, and it's awful. Life-ruiningly awful.
I love it, luckily. Like, I love the job.
Don't lie to me.
No, I do. I do. If you guys want to come work out, Orange Theory Melrose, it's the place to be.
Yeah, I can't imagine doing that, because you've worked there for a while now.
Well,
Like a couple years, right? Oh,
Since
okay.
September.
Oh, okay.
So, because I was in school the last few years.
Right.
So,
Math. Remember,
Yeah.
it's 2021.
it's 2024 right now.
Oh, brother.
But it's just, again, that, like, it's just part of the... Only crazy people do this. Like, only the craziest people do music. And it's because I don't have an option. Like,
Right.
I literally refuse to do anything else.
Like, I've told people before, it's like, if you move to Nashville, you have to be prepared to work harder than you ever have before, because there's people like you and I literally working that 4:30 a.m. shift to have every night available to play music. And some people aren't willing to do that. And then they get all up in arms or jaded, like, oh, nothing's happening, my career. And I'm like, do something about it. Like, make a change.
There's no blueprint.
There's no blueprint.
So you got to make it
Yeah.
like yourself.
Yeah. And it's brutal waking up at probably 3:30 when that alarm goes off, going to bed when the sun is still up.
Honestly, and I'm being so for real right now, the hardest part is leaving Cowboy. Because, like, this morning, for example, I woke up and he was, like, full blown. His paws and his head were resting on my head. And he was just purring. It was so cuddly, and, like, it's cold outside. It was so warm.
And then you're just like, sorry, bye. Boom.
Yeah.
That's rough.
And then when I get home, he gets so excited. He gets so excited.
So what's the first single you're going to be putting out called?
Band shirts and bolo ties.
Great.
It is.
When is that going to be released? Do you have a date set?
Not yet.
Okay.
It keeps getting pushed back because I keep freaking out about my vocal performance on it because I overthink. But
Naturally,
hopefully
as we all do.
Hopefully early March.
Okay.
That's the goal. But I wrote it with John Decius, who's incredible, and it's just about me. It's like my song.
That's great.
It's Maura,
Just Maura.
not Maura.
Not Maura, Caroline. God.
No, it's just about me, and it's fun, and it's kind of taking on this new, I hate the word brand, not just this new like flavor that I'm kind of
we all go through
in.
different seasons of how our music is.
Yeah, and it's just fun, and it's very heavily influenced by John Prine, and just has this like upbeat, happy, like you can't help but smile when you listen to it, and that's what I want my music to be. So I'm excited, especially after like my last two singles being so like not sad,
emo,
but yeah, it's kind of fun to put out songs.
Put
that
out
I'm
a
like,
bop.
Yeah. So there's three. There's Band Shirts and Bow Ties, Silver, which is an emo song.
Okay.
And then Just Ain't Me, which is like as Jimmy Wood says, it makes you want to drive your car fast. So
I love that.
Gets me excited.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning in this week. Maura, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to leave our listeners with this week?
Follow me everywhere except for home. And
I've never heard that before.
And be kind.
Be kind. That's
Don't
a great
be a
way
dick.
to leave it. Don't be a dick. Rule number 1 of Nashville.
Don't be a dick.
Well, we'll leave it right there this week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to the Nashville Tour Stop Podcast, episode 108, featuring Maura Streppa. Find her at maurastreppamusic.com, maurastreppa.com, and find all of her live tour dates. Find her music, follow, subscribe, ... etc., whatever. Make sure you keep in touch with her because the shows, they're not even free now. Like, I was going to say the shows are free now, but the tickets to the Ryman will be expensive. But buy a ticket to go see her at the 3rd and Lindsley. Man, that's
You're doing great.
It's going to be great.
I'm excited.
You should
I cannot wait.
Have you ever played there before?
Yeah. I played there.
It's a big stage.
Yeah,
it's a big room.
I've done a full band, and then I did Bluebird on 3rd.
That's
there.
awesome.
It was just electric.
Well, go find Maura everywhere. Follow her everywhere except for home. I'm going to use that.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us everywhere on social media at Nashville Tour Stop. You can find our full live event calendar on NashvilleTourStop.com. Please rate and subscribe our podcast here. If you liked it, give us a 5-star review. If you hated it and made it this far, leave us a 1-star review and tell us why you listened to an hour of something you didn't enjoy. That'd be crazy.
That'd be wild. Honestly, like I would commemorate you if you did that. Is that the right word?
No. Maybe that's a whole thing. Maybe someone should try to get the lowest rated podcast on iTunes. I don't want to go for that.
Yeah, no, let's not.
Get
Not
lost.
this one. Don't do that on this one.
Give us a 5-star review. Share it with your friends. Go back and listen to all 107 of our previous episodes. But thank you for tuning in this week. We will be back next week with more right here. But until the next time, please remember that all roads lead to the Nashville Tour Stop.